Okay.
Now we go to a film where I think we have more of an agreement. This is a step up in class. The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith, an extraordinary movie, a film based on real events in the turn-of-the-century Australia. It's about the brutal wholesale slaughter of a number of white people by a young Aborigine man who was raised by a white missionary and his wife. Early in the film, Jimmy Blacksmith, the Aborigine, has a run-in with one of his first white employers. Jimmy has just been fired, and he asks for a reference.
Jesus, you're a fussy bloody black. What you want references for? A job in the bank?
So I can show it to other people who want fences done.
Oh, you haven't got me writing glasses. And I want you off the property by 10 in the morning.
Can I get a ride in tomorrow with you, Mr. Haley? I got a lot of things to carry.
I'm not going to Merriwa tomorrow.
I was thinking you might, it being Friday.
I don't need you to think for me. I'll ask you if I want you to do me thinking.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, boss. No reference. That's course you can't bloody write.
Jimmy Blacksmith has married a white woman who bears him a child, a white child that is not his. Every step of the way of this man's life, he is exploited by the white culture. His expectations are raised and then not met. He's a fractured soul, an Aborigine displaced in the white world. So Jimmy goes on a rampage, leading a band of his friends, killing more than a half dozen people. While looking for food later with his brother, he stumbles across a school teacher and his wife.
I know who you two are. God, you travel fast. Oh, jeez. It's all right, darling. We just spotted a rabbit. You go inside. I'll be in a moment.
No. Come on, Jimmy. Come on.
No. If you two gentlemen are in any doubt as to whether to kill us, just let me tell you, my wife's sick. And I don't have much insurance. And we're both bloody innocent.
You got any flour? Bacon?
Oh, yes. Enough of that. You don't have to think you must kill us. You let a couple live up in Barrington Tops.
As soon as we turn our backs, he'd be off for the bloody place. It was the school you did for Ned Kelly.
You're welcome to take my horse. I'm at least 22 miles from the nearest police station. A walk like that would take me 2 days. Look, I know I can reason with you, because you aren't mad, either of you. Let me show you something I know you'd enjoy. It's in the bulletin. By the way, I know you're not going to believe me if I say I've got no arms in the house. In fact, I've got a Bonza Martini Henry carbine. No ammunition in it. My father-in-law gave it to me as a wedding present. Everyone says a funny sort of wedding present. Someone said it was to keep the cow...
Just show us what you're going to show us.
The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith is a most political film, making the point that the traditional culture of people is sometimes better left unaltered. The missionaries initially attempt to integrate Jimmy Blacksmith into white society, but ultimately they abandon him. One cannot condone, of course, the murders that Jimmy Blacksmith commits, but through this film, which has all the power sometimes of a documentary, we fully understand why the murders were committed.
Well, first of all, I agree with you. I think it's a very good film, and in fact, I think it might even be a great film. It was very effective in taking me into that world that I was very unfamiliar to me, very alien, and making me feel as if I had really been there.
Yes.
But there is an area I'm not sure about, and that is that central bloodbath, the central image of the film when Jimmy Blacksmith and his friends go berserk and wipe out that family. Now, you seem to indicate that he was just pushed too far by white society and he couldn't take it anymore.
Yes.
I'm not sure. It seemed to me that in a way he might have just gone over the edge and lost all control.
Except that he's the one, Roger, who leads the killing, and he's the one who's been integrated into white society. So, the causality seems pretty obvious to me. I like what you said about taking us into the world. What movies can do best is take us to worlds that we can't visit ourselves. I'm amazed at how authentic this film... I couldn't catch it in a mistake. I'm stunned by that, how this film was able to get the people to do the things that they do, It's flawless in that way.
Well, you know, one of the things that I've noticed about this film and a lot of other Australian films like Picnic at Hanging Rock, The Last Wave, and Walkabout,
Yes.
is that they really evoke the majesty of that landscape. It's so big, it's so barren, it's so mysterious. There are strange animals there. There are places that have probably never been seen by human eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, I think that's what this film uses to explain Jimmy Blacksmith. Not his specific plot motivations raised by missionary parents and so forth, but just the entire culture that he comes out of that is so alien to the culture that is tried to be imposed upon him.
Well, we agree that it's a remarkable film.
It's a real good film, right. The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith is the Australian film about a turn-of-the-century Aborigine who goes on a murderous rampage. We both voted yes on this film. We thought it was a fascinating portrait of a tragic chapter in history.
So we both recommend Jimmy Blacksmith.
Right.
It is extremely violent, we ought to point out, and yet it's a very fine film.
Right.
Okay.